Good morning, everybody. In one of my other videos here on my channel, I talked about dealing with managing bamboo in your backyard. Excuse me. Well, since then, I decided it was kind of tricky getting up into the bamboo area. So I noticed that I had one huge, pretty horizontal rock that was in this wall that we had put together by a landscape crew, and they moved some huge stones, but the actual rock wall construction is not really up to my level of design. I used to build rock walls at my other house, and they were so much more organized dry stack method than this. But what I did recently was seeing this seemingly natural step. I went and added these two other stones, put bricks, low riser bricks underneath these stones, and added sand and soil and got them pretty well level. And then this huge stone at the top I pulled from another area. I couldn't pick it up. I had to walk it, so to speak. And I laid wood across the two bottom steps and slid it up to the top, leveling out that area and getting a good place to put this large stone in. So now getting up in my bamboo area is pretty easy. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm up. Coming back down is simple as well. I grab hold of bamboo here to brace myself, and I'm down. And the last step, I'm safely down. All these other rocks you see laying in front of the rock wall or rocks I'm going to use in other places in this wall as I rebuild. Now, one thing I noticed when I was out here putting in these steps to go up into the bamboo area is that the soil is not really level. See, this area is pretty level. This area here is pretty level. But this area here in front of this humongous stone, if you look at it from the side, you'll see you got kind of a slope. Maybe hard to see up close, but that needs to be taken out. And what we are going to do once this area is leveled and taken out, as we did over here, adding landscape timbers and creating a new bed, we're going to add landscape timbers here. One, I don't know, 6 or 7 feet long, probably 2 high or 3 high, depending on what we feel like. And then over here, most likely another 6.5, 7 foot length, stacked 2 high, coming from the, maybe 3 high, coming from the steps that we just talked about. And with those landscape timbers, and once this is all leveled out in here, then we'll take the dirt that was taken out, mixed with some other dirt, and vegetative material, which we've got plenty of around here, and we will be able to augment and mix up and create a planting area. Because I told my wife, these stones are just waiting for some shade-loving plants, hostas and whatnot, astilbe, variegated liriopes, to grow in front of the stone wall here in two small beds. And the rock wall will add a nice dark area for contrast. And we'll try and get some plants to sort of echo that Asian feel as well. All right, we'll be back. At the request of and the good idea of my wife, I've extended my 1, 2, 3 steps into 4 steps. So just looks a little nicer, a little more interesting. I propped up these 2 large stones with other regular stones, not half bricks. And I filled in dirt around the front, and now I've added sand at the cracks, and I'm going to water it in so they will fill the area, the voids underneath these 2 stones. At least that's the plan. We'll check back. Well, the sand has been watered in as good as I can. I just have to trust and hope that it made its way into the voids under the stones I just put in. It's a true muddy mess around the front here. All this fresh dirt, but over time it will harden up. It'll be just fine. A little bit of sand washed away and with the mud, but not too much. So this will be okay to leave it just as it is for right now. And the just the regular rains that'll come and go will continue to wash the sand down underneath these 2 rocks. So what we've got going here left today, as I mentioned in another video, is back behind where I've spray painted this white line. I've got to level out, and that's going to leave a little bit of height below part of the rock wall, but that's going to be okay. The dirt is nice and hard, and we will be making a bed like that one over there using landscape timbers, landscape nails, rebars, and we will fill it in with soil and figure out what kind of plants we want to put in, as mentioned in the rest of this video. So that's it for now. I'm beat. I'm going to go in, have some Gatorade, and chill out under my brand new ceiling fan. All right, this is Source Kodak's Jazz Fusion guy, Mr. Work Too Hard, signing off. Ooh, baby. I wanted to mention earlier on that I bought this great little device for music outside while you're working. This is the JBL Flip 6, and you can get it for a really good price from some guys in Seattle, Washington. I'm just using Bluetooth and playing my music on my smartphone, and it sounds great. That is only halfway turned up. The JBL Flip 6 makes working outside a little bit more pleasant. Well, we got a little bit of rain since last night, and this morning I went on out and got some supplies for putting in the raised beds, I got plenty of landscape timbers. If I don't use them all, I'll just put the leftovers under the deck. What I've done so far is I've made somewhat of a rut going from the steps to where the bed's going to end right here. Let me step back a bit. So where this white line is, all the way up to the rut, I'm going to level things out. And then that's when I'm going to put in the landscape timbers, right about where the rut is. And behind it, we will backfill with the dirt that was taken out and some other soil augmentation. I picked up this nice little doohickey here at, oh, this is just a quick commercial, at Aldi's. Occasionally they have non-food items for sale. And this is a great little, drag it around and carry stuff with you. So I can load this thing up in the garage instead of making multiple trips and bring everything I need out here to the backyard. So we will tune back in soon. I'm listening to a random selection of stuff while I work on my little JBL speaker, my Bluetooth speaker. Right now it's space music. Next it could be fusion. Next it could be who knows what else is on my phone. It's just a random shuffle kind of play. All right, it's time to put the work gloves back on and get working. Well, I finally have gotten the ground in front of the rock wall leveled out for the placement of the landscape timbers. It gives you an idea of how much of a slope I removed. What's left in the back I'm leaving to add dirt to. I filled up 2 wheelbarrows full of dirt during this process. The first wheelbarrow of dirt I have piled up in here, and I will have plenty of dirt, soil, as my soil professor at NC State said. It's not dirt. Dirt is dead. Soil is alive. So my living soil is piled up now, and I got a level, nice level here on the bottom landscape timber. I'm going to line up the other one with this stone over here that it's going to end at right there, and I will cut that off, and I will nail this into the ground and drill holes for the nails. And I've got my landscape, well, my rebars and landscape nails here. Got plenty of those, so we're in good shape. And I will be interlacing this landscape timber retaining wall with long short, then short long, and then the third level will be long short. That's just a good idea to do your landscape timbers that way when you're stacking them up. That way you don't have all long and all short stacked on top of each other with the chance of it pulling apart. The interlaced middle or second layer will give you more stability. As far as tools, doing a job like this, I highly recommend, of course, you wear work gloves. Um, the ones that I use came from Amazon, of course, where I buy tons of stuff. They're called Vigos. They have a nice Velcro strap, and they're sort of impact resistant, and they're padded, and you actually can touch your smartphone screen, and it will sense your presence even through the gloves, which was a nice added bonus. Of course, I highly recommend you have a mattock. This is a great old tool of mine for cutting roots, busting up through stone areas. Really nice. An edger like this is great for getting a nice straight line, cutting down into soil that you're going to remove. This shovel, or spade type device I got from Lowe's, is really nice. It's great for going down deep and cutting a straight line. That's good too. If I didn't mention, it's good to have a nice sturdy wheelbarrow. One of my other videos on YouTube, I talked about restoring this wheelbarrow, which was made in Finland about 40 years ago. A nice straight kind of coal shovel blade shovel is good to have, especially when you're leveling out an area. You're also going to need a gosh, I'm having a senior moment. A sledgehammer, which is good for pounding in your rebar. And you're going to need landscape timbers, which I've got plenty of. I sweat so bad, I bring out 2 different hats. That's hat number 2. When the other one gets so wet, it won't hold any more sweat. And like I mentioned before, for me, it's not running right now, but I highly recommend a Bluetooth speaker. That way, you've got some music going while you're working. And when you're needing to sort of water things in, like I did yesterday with the sand and everything, it's good to have a nice hose with good length to it and a lot of good settings on this hose nozzle itself. I'm particularly fond of jet setting, because you can blow a lot of stuff out of the way that's in the way. And just as an aside, even though it has nothing to do with the rock wall, I removed a whole lot of wood from this deck of ours, an old bench that really wasn't necessary at all. So with this old wood here, I repurposed it into a elevated plant stand. And I had this nice piece of granite left over around my house, not being used for anything, that came from a quarry in Mount Airy, North Carolina. And I just cut these guys, and all the reinforced wood inside you can't see, and I cut them to fit under the granite, and here we have this nice planter. So when you do demolishing projects and you've got wood left over, don't throw it away, because it can be reused. All right, enough blabbing. it's time for me to get back to work, and I will sign in with an update. Girls, well, there is the finished product. It poured down rain while I was working. I took a break for lunch, but otherwise I am pretty happy with this. The 2 wheelbarrows full of dirt, just about all of it went perfectly behind the raised bed. And some landscaping nails, a few rebars, and we're good to go. All we need now is decide what kind of plants we are going to put in here. And 2 wheelbarrows full of dirt, that's all we had left. So worked out really nice. Make sure you have a drill bit that's long enough to go through 3 landscape timbers, which fortunately I did. And the sledgehammer knocks it straight on through. Okay, well that's it for adding a raised bed to a relatively uneven rock wall. Now that straight line continuity goes right over to the new steps. I'm tuckered out. Well, after I took my long soak in the big tub with Epsom salts, I laid down and man, the bottom fell out. The rain was just pouring, beating on the roof, thunderbolts, rolling thunder, you name it. It was amazing. So thought I'd come out here and do this little follow-up video. It seems that the Lord God Almighty decided to rain down on this new project and give it a little test, give it a little washing, and I think overall it held up well. There's a few little places of standing water. This I'm not worried about so much because the volume of rain we got. And that little spot there in front of the retaining wall, that ain't a big deal either. I can always level the soil out and throw a little bit there just for perfection, but that's not even necessary. So, took me, I guess, adding the new steps, sand and good stuff, digging things out, going to the store this morning and buying the landscape timbers and the rebar, and then actually installing. I think I've probably got about 6 hours in this project. I took a lot of breaks because working here in the south in the high 80s, the heat index was just unbelievable. So there's how it looks. Now to pick out what plants we want to put in there. All right, signing off.